The men at this Veteran Affairs Hospital in O'Hara Township are learning how to carve wood. But it's more than a hobby. It's part of a healing process. Wood carving is one of many classes offered through the hospital's recreational therapy program.
They seem to love it, which makes me feel good.
The creative process itself is therapeutic, especially if you have somebody there encouraging you.
I remember things I used to do, sailing and all. That's more relaxing to me. It brings back memories there.
All are welcome in the recreational therapy programs, which include everything from fly fishing field trips to art classes like ceramics and wood carving.
At first they're reluctant. You know, it's like anything else, and that happens to anybody the first time they try something.
Some of them want direction, and some of them you can just see their tongue sticking out of their mouth, and they're bent over, and they don't want to talk to you. They just want to play, create.
Well, recreational therapy goes a long way. It's probably what made me a survivor.
Jerry Bull Baylor fought with the Marine Corps from 1966 to 1970. He was a combat engineer and worked from Da Nang to Hill 55 with landmines and booby traps. He was paralyzed in 1980 when a car hit his motorcycle.
When you get injured, you lose everything and you have to relearn everything. A lot of people just give up. They don't want to admit that they're hurt, and they go back to their old lifestyle, and there's nobody there that can teach them anything. The best thing to do is get involved with another disabled group, and they can teach you the tricks of the trade.
Bull got involved in wheelchair racing, another popular form of recreational therapy, and he's won national competitions. But it's this wood carving class that feeds his artistic side.
I was a tattoo artist. I can't hold a machine anymore, and I can't tattoo because I don't have a balance factor. But I stuck pens and pencils into my hand and found that I could do artwork on other things. The same with this wood carving. I can do that.
We don't see them every week. Sometimes we only see them once. The situation that many of the vets have to deal with is each one is unique. They all have particular challenges that they have to overcome. One of the gentlemen I was working with today, Ernie, has a great deal of difficulty speaking. So his interaction with me had to take place on a tablet. So don't worry about a thing. And was on the gentleman's wrist because his wrist was shaking. So I had to show him some techniques about how to deal with that. It builds their confidence. And once they've done several, then they're familiar with the tool, they're familiar with the process, with the different bits and so forth. And then if they stay with us, they can go on to something a little bit more complex.
The instructors also display their own wood carving projects. Robbie's been carving for nearly 60 years. Tom came to it more recently after retiring from a 35-year career as an elementary school art teacher. Robbie's son, Kurt, also volunteers with the recreational therapy program. He carved this door frame.
I took Ernie over to show him some of the examples that Robbie and I made, and Ernie told me that he formerly did ice sculpture when he could get up and around, but now he feels like he may be able to get back at something that he loves.
Keep it simple, because my main goal is to teach them how to use and control the rotary grinder. I never criticize anybody. I usually tell them how good it is because just by attempting it shows promise.
Robert Lyles is an Army veteran, and he's attempting this art form for the first time.
It's really exciting.
He served in Korea from 1950 to 1951. He even fought the legendary Battle of Pork Chop Hill and earned 2 Bronze Stars for his service. Robert is from Tennessee, and his wood carving project today is a celebration of his home state.
Actually, I thought about back home. I mean, pine trees back home. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I came down.
Merrill Creech is another Army vet. He served in Vietnam from 1967 to 1970, and he's also visiting this particular recreational therapy session for the first time.
I tried it, and it's enjoyable. I think it's good for occupational therapy, for my hands, my fingers, because I have neuropathy.
Every moment's a standout moment. I mean, it really is. When I get down here to help these veterans.
Companionship and one human being assisting another human being to learn something that's pleasant and productive. It's just wonderful to be here and work with them. It's a privilege.
Some of these vets are regulars at the wood carving class. Others might just be here for the day. But they all proved they have the patience and the vision to see a plain block of wood and imagine what else, what more it could be.
It's relaxing, you know, and you're doing something, you're accomplishing something. You get some peace of mind.